Now we get to fluency. When we think about fluency, we just need to practice. Remember, practice is often where students learn math, so the more practice students receive, the better off they are going to be. We do want to have some practice with identifying common skip counting patterns, particularly those by 2s, 5s, and 10s. And you may also want to talk about what are some of the common errors that students make when skip counting. There are skip counting songs that might be helpful for students in terms of practicing their skip counting. Number Rock has this skip counting by 2s and 5s and 10s and 100s. And then if I move out of the way, here Go Noodle has a skip counting song by 100. There are also a lot of other skip counting songs you can find. You might also use some virtual manipulatives to help students understand a skip counting sequence. So for example, here I've highlighted the skip counting sequence when I'm counting by 2s. I could also then think about, well, what would be the skip counting sequence, but counting by 5s or 10s or 100s. If we look at a 100 chart, or on this it's a 120 chart, this can help students practice their skip counting. You can also do skip counting by doing this little plate threading activity. Here, students are going to figure out which skip counting pattern they're going to focus on. Here on this plate, I'm going to focus on skip counting by 2s, and then I can punch holes around the circumference of the plate, and then I can go ahead and skip count with the punched holes to make a beautiful design. So here, 2, then that goes to what next? 4, and then that goes to 6, 8, 10, and so on. So then you can use that yarn, and this is a nice activity to practice your fine motor skills, to practice your skip counting. We can also play games. Here, this game, Space Pets. This has lots of different skip counting patterns. I wouldn't necessarily think all of these are important to practice time and time again, but for some students, they might be ready to count by 3s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 9s, and so on. But we really do want to emphasize skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. Here with this game, students are going to drag and drop the space pets in order to help them with the skip counting sequence. And then if a student places it in the wrong order, it falls back onto the ground and they have to try again. So those were just some fluency activities that you might consider using to help students practice skip counting. I'd like you to push pause here and think about which fluency activities you might use to help students with skip counting. And did you see any activities that we just reviewed that you might try implementing in your classroom?